Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to chemistry class C2. We will be starting from unit 13 acid bases and unit 14 salts and identification of ions. And the resources to cover this chapter are Christopher and Prescott, unit 13, page number 173 to 175, and unit 14, page number 176. Educational video is also provided at the end of the lesson. You can also consult chemistry matter. Discussion and explanation of the topic is done through audio and visual aids. Diagrams are also given for more conceptual clearance. Education videos are also provided at the end of the lesson, which will be helpful for better understanding of topic. When the topic will be completed, a homework assignment is also given which you need to solve. By the end of the lesson, students will be able to describe the meanings of the terms acid and alkali in terms of the ions they contain or produce in aqueous solution and their effects on universal indicator paper. They can also describe how to test hydrogen ion concentration and hence relative acidity using universal indicator paper and the pH scale. Classify oxides and acidic, basic or amphoteric based on metallic, non-metallic character. Describe the term salts and classify its types. Now let's start the topic indicators and the pH scale. We know that when an acid is dissolved in water, we get an acidic solution. When a base dissolves in water, it is an alkali and makes an alkaline solution. If a solution is neither acidic nor alkaline, it is neutral. You know that pure water is neutral and so is paraffin. Now we can define the indicators, that indicators are dyes or mixtures of dyes which change color when acids or alkalis are added to them. There are many indicators available, the more common are shown in the table. Now the indicators. Litmus is one of the indicator. In acid it is red color, in alkali it is of blue color, and in neutral it is colorless. There is another indicator which is universal indicator, that is also red in acid, violet in alkali and green in neutral. Methyl orange, red in acid, yellow in alkali and red in neutral. Screened methyl orange, red in acid, green in alkali and orange in neutral solution. Phenolphthalein is colorless in acid, pink in alkali and colorless in neutral. In this diagram you can see that two litmus paper turns red in acidic solution. Red litmus paper turns blue in basic solution. The next is the universal indicator paper that turns violet in basic solution. Now the pH scale. pH scale is the power of hydrogen ion concentration. The phrase power of hydrogen ion is abbreviated to give the symbol pH. We know the properties, chemical properties of many solutions enable them to be divided into three categories, that is acidic, alkaline and neutral solutions. And the pH scale is used to measure the acidity and alkalinity of the solutions, that how much an acid is acidic and how much an alkali is alkaline. In pH scale, the solution with a pH less than 7 are acidic, and the solutions with a pH of 7 are neutral, and the solutions with a pH greater than 7 are alkaline. Now what is a universal indicator? If universal indicator is added to a solution, it changes to a color that shows the pH of the solution. Universal indicator is a mixture of variety of other indicators and can be used to measure the approximate pH of a solution. It means pH scale shows the strength of an acid or alkali, and it has values from 0 to 14, and each number is associated with a particular color of universal indicator. Any pH value which is below 7 is acidic, the lower it is the stronger the acid, and any pH value above 7 is alkaline, and higher the value the stronger the alkali. The value of 7 is the neutral value, which means that the solution is neither acidic nor alkaline. Now the next topic is oxides. Oxides are compounds containing oxygen. It means that chemical compound in which oxygen is combined with another element. that an other element can be a metal or non-metal. Acidic oxides are formed when a non-metal element combines with oxygen. It means they react with bases to form a salt and water. When dissolved in water, they produce an acidic solution with a low pH. Common examples include sulfur dioxide and silica SiO2. Now the examples of acidic oxides. As we know, non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, means when they dissolve in water they form acids. They can also react with an alkali to form salt and water, thereby acting as an acid. Just like in this example, sulfur trioxide SO3, when it dissolves in water it gives sulfuric acid H2SO4. Sulfur dioxide SO2, when it reacts with water it gives sulfurous acid H2SO3. Carbon dioxide, when it reacts with water it gives carbonic acid. Phosphorus oxide P4O10, when it reacts with water it gives phosphoric acid H3PO4. It means acidic oxides, when they react with water they give acids. The next is the reaction of the acidic oxides with alkalis. When they react with alkalis they produce salt and water. For example, CO2, carbon dioxide, which is an acidic oxide, when it reacts with sodium hydroxide NaOH, it gives Na2CO3, which is a salt, and H2O, water. Similarly, SO3, which is an acidic oxide, when it reacts with calcium hydroxide, which is an alkali, it gives calcium sulfate, salt, and H2O, water. Now the next is the basic oxides. Basic oxides are formed when a metal element combines with oxygen. When they react with acids they form salt and water. When dissolved in water they produce a basic solution with a high pH. And common examples include NaOH, KOH, and calcium hydroxide CaOH whole twice. Now the next is the neutral oxides. Some oxides do not react with either acids or bases and thus are said to be neutral. Examples include NO, nitrous oxide, and carbon monoxide, and H2O. It means these are non-metal oxides which have none of the properties mentioned above. So they are called neutral oxides. Such oxides are usually insoluble in water and therefore have no reaction with acids or alkalis. An example would be carbon monoxide, which is a poisonous gas which is found in exhaust fumes. Now come to the next oxide, which is amphoteric oxide. Amphoteric oxides are also metallic oxides, but they are curious group of oxides that can behave as both acidic and basic, depending on whether the other reactant is an acid or a base. In both cases, a salt and water is formed. So it means that amphoteric oxides, they are metallic oxides which are behaving both as acids and base and are said to be amphoteric. These oxides, when they react with acids, they form salt and water, thereby acting as a base. In the same way, they can also react with an alkali to form salt and water, thereby acting as an acid. The two most common examples of amphoteric oxides are zinc oxides and aluminium oxides. One important point that the hydroxides of both of these elements, that is zinc and aluminium, they also behave amphoterically. The example of aluminium oxide behaving as a base, in this example, aluminium oxide, when it reacts with the acid HCl, it gives aluminium chloride and water. Aluminium chloride is a salt and water is, you know, that H2O. The other example of an aluminium oxide behaving as an acid is aluminium oxide, when it reacts with sodium hydroxide, which is a base, it forms NaAlO2, sodium aluminate, and water. Now again a brief review of basic oxides, neutral oxides, and amphoteric oxides. As you have studied earlier, that in basic oxides, they react with water and they produce alkalis. And you know that most basic oxides, they are insoluble in water. The example of basic oxide, potassium oxide, when it reacts with water it gives potassium hydroxide, which is an alkali. Again, the basic oxides, when they react with the acids they produce salt and water. The example is calcium oxide, which is a basic oxide. When it reacts with nitric acid it produces calcium nitrate CaNO3 whole twice and water. Now the next is the neutral oxides. You know that neutral oxides, they do not react with either acids or bases, thus they do not form salts. The next one is the amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides, as you know that they behave as an acidic oxides or a basic oxides. Hence, they react with both acids and with alkalis and they form salt. And the example is aluminium oxide, as you have studied earlier, that when they react with the hydrochloric acid, it produces aluminium chloride plus water. Again, the next reaction is the reaction of aluminium oxide with sodium hydroxide. When it reacts with sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium aluminate, which is a salt, and water. Now the next unit 14, salts and identification of ions. Introduction of the salt. We know that a salt is any compound which is formed by the neutralization of an acid by a base. We can also define a salt is a substance formed when the hydrogen of an acid is partially or wholly replaced by a metal. Now the next is very important point of naming of salts. You know that the name of a salt has two parts. The first part comes from the metal oxide or metal carbonate, and the second part that comes from the acid. You can also work out the name of the salt by looking at the reactants. For example, nitric acid always produces salts that end in nitrate and contain the nitrate ion. Hydrochloric acid always produces salts that end in chloride and contain the chloride ion. Sulfuric acid always produces salts that end in sulfate and contain the sulfate ions. For example, if potassium oxide reacts with sulfuric acid, it produces potassium sulfate and water. Now the types of salts. The number one is acid salts. The salts made from strong acid and weak base are called acidic salts, or salt on hydrolysis gives strong acid and weak base. Examples are ammonium chloride, calcium nitrate. Now the second one is basic salts. The salts which is made from strong base and weak acid or on hydrolysis gives strong base and weak acid are called basic salts. Examples are sodium acetate and sodium carbonate. And the third one is neutral salts. The salt which is either made from strong acid and strong base or weak acid and weak base. Or we can also say the salt on hydrolysis gives either both strong acid and strong base, or gives both weak acid or weak base. They are called neutral salts. And examples of neutral salts are sodium chloride NaCl, sodium nitrate NaNO3. Now the recap of the lesson. As you know that an indicator is a substance that changes color when it is added to acidic or alkaline solutions. The pH runs from 0 strongly acidic through 7 neutral to 14 strongly alkaline. And we know that salts are made when acids and bases they react together, and the particular salt made depends upon the acid and base used. Now the recap of oxides. We know that there are 4 types of oxides: acidic oxides, basic oxides, amphoteric oxides, and neutral oxides. The examples for acidic oxides are carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, NO2, NO. Basic oxides are sodium oxide, calcium oxide, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide, and copper oxide. Amphoteric oxides, as you know, aluminium oxide, lead oxide, and zinc oxides. And the examples of neutral oxides are H2O, CO, carbon monoxide, N2O. We know that acidic oxides, when they react with alkalis, they form salts, and the basic oxides, they react with acids and form salts. Amphoteric oxides, they react with both acids and alkalis to form salts, and neutral oxides, they do not react with both acids and alkalis. Now video links are given. You have to watch them for more understanding and conceptual clearance.